just how important some of the things that we're going to bring up are, and how it makes them, hit these product targets. So now we're into the first section of the presentation, which is really, how should you build the right portfolio? What goes into that? And we're actually going to start it off with the first poll question. And we're going to try to get some perspective for those of you attending the webinar today. So that poll is, what is the top challenge that you feel to effectively manage your portfolio? There's 5 choices. So, keep in mind that your responses to the poll are completely anonymous. Please take a moment just to take a look and select what you believe to be your top challenge today for managing your portfolio. Is it just simply there's too many projects in your pipeline for your organization to manage? Is the fast-paced, constantly changing high-tech marketplace too much for your developers to respond to in time? Maybe you don't have the ability to perform risk assessments when you're doing this portfolio selection. Or does it come down to prioritization or the balancing of the portfolio? These are all issues that companies are trying to deal with today. While all of these may be a challenge for your company, try to select the one that you believe to be really the most troublesome when you're going at it. Obviously these could all be an issue, but it's really the top challenge that you feel you're facing. So, let's take a look at the results and see how the challenges stack up. And it's really, you can see right here, an even 50-50 split between the ability to assess risk and then the design criteria, which is not a surprise. These are obviously, large challenges for any company out there. If we take a look at the next slide, though, we can see how Aberdeen's respondents stacked up to that same exact question. So, new products are an organization's most important source of revenue. There's fewer resources, and companies really can't afford to waste efforts on the wrong projects. It's more important than ever to ensure resources are focused on the right projects by successfully managing the portfolio of projects. And this is especially true for industry, like high tech, where product decisions can make or break a company. And really, here, that's why you see high-tech companies are more than 2 times as likely to feel pressure right from the start of product development, balancing that portfolio. So these challenges here are really making it an issue for high-tech companies to deal with this. And I believe, and have heard from other companies, that this heightened pressure compared to other industries is really directly related to that second challenge we see right here, which is the fast-paced changing marketplace. The high-tech industry has to bend to really the will of their consumers, and the voice of the customer has never been stronger. Their constantly changing preferences introduces a huge amount of risk into the business, where one wrong decision can really have serious effects. So really, companies, they must lay the proper foundation for NPDI and PPM and factor risk up front. Luckily, there is hope, however. There are leaders among the high-tech manufacturers that we saw that are approaching NPDI in the correct manner. And really, there's 5 key areas where these high-tech leaders are focusing on to differentiate themselves by creating flexibility and insight that they need to successfully manage innovation and mitigate risk in their portfolio. So it starts with keeping the product portfolio aligned to customer needs. Next, it's what should actually go into the portfolio, what's the product to select, or the project to select. Then, what resources will be needed, and are they actually available? Can you deliver on the project that you're trying to do? Also, the high-tech leaders are continuously managing and monitoring their portfolio to make decisions when needed. And finally, they're making these decisions, doing all these things on standardized metrics and measurements. So, the leaders begin, the high-tech leaders begin by incorporating an understanding of their customer needs and feedback into this process right from the get-go. 81% more likely, we can see right here. So obtaining customer feedback in this process permits high-tech leaders to identify the product ideas that are going to be in demand, or use their feedback to improve on products so that they will drive demand. Regular feedback from customers throughout the development process, it really ensures that the product continues to develop in step with demand, making it easier to ensure that the final product is going to actually meet what the customer needs or the market needs. At the same time, companies really should monitor customer satisfaction with the existing product lines that you have, not just new ones. This is also a critical source of insight driving effective decision making by keeping decision criteria more clearly defined and focused on what's a real concern for the customer. So understanding this feedback is especially useful in the later stages as well of the product life cycle, when decisions need to be made about when to take a product out of the portfolio and keep the portfolio aligned to what the customer needs. Requirements management is a process which increases the risk of missing cost and market targets, as well as overall business goals if it is not managed properly. It's really a big issue. A product could be released on time and at a low cost, but really, if it's not what the market needs, then what good is it? The leaders build on a solid understanding of what customers want in order to determine new product ideas should go into the portfolio, and they build on that with the ability to perform what-if scenarios to assess the potential performance of their products, so determining what really should go into that portfolio.